Hey, now listen to me. I'm just going to tell you right now. The comments, go with them. Your feelings, put them in the section. All your little cries and your whines and your fake fallacies are trying to be like, oh, you still talking about AD 2021, let it go. No, nobody's let it go. Matter of fact, we're still talking about scandals that have happened in F1 for decades now. Crashgate. All right. Don't forget about the water cooled brakes. We've talked about these things and they will always be talked about. And I will always mention them when they become controversy or when they have slighted somebody, i.e. Lewis Hamilton. If you want to say Massa, that's fine. Villeneuve, if you want to say any of the drivers that got slighted by scandals, then you go ahead and do it. But don't be in the comment section talking crazy, because then that tells me that you know. And I definitely know you know it's wrong. You just want the rest of the world to act like it's not wrong. You want the rest of the world to try to pamper you like it's not wrong so you can feel good about a false championship. Listen, Lando says it. Ted says it. We got plenty of other people that have said it. Christian Horner said it. These things keep coming out about Lewis Hamilton being an 8-time world champion in many different types of media because people feel like he should have been an 8-time world champion in 2021. Here it is. We talking about Crashgate. Crashgate is on main media outlets of Formula One channels that you well damn know. But you'll come here and be like, oh, you crying. No, nobody's crying. You're crying. You come every time to my comment section loyally, repeatedly, like a little puppy. You'll never be a wolf. You'll never be a wolf. But what's funny is this. 2008, we talking about Crashgate. Massa say he want his championship. Now, I'm not sure. I got to go back and look at the points breakdown to even see if that situation would have enabled him, because I made a video and I think I pretty much showed situations where Felipe pretty much ruined his own race even post the crash situation. Go back and watch that video. I made it and I talked about it. Even if Crashgate didn't happen, what was going to stop Massa from having the refueling situation? What was going to stop him from making that mistake that he made in that corner? So I'm not sure he still even wins that race. I still got to look at the point structure and see if he finishes here or Lewis finishes there, where it would be. But still, there were other things that happened in that race. We're not talking about 3 races back. We're not talking about in the rest of the season. We're talking about in the race where the situation lies. And that's where some of you get lost in the rabbit hole wanting to say, oh, well, Max had more wins. So that wasn't the situation. The situation that came about wasn't that both drivers crashed out, and because they were even, this is a fact. You can't change this. They were even on points going into Abu Dhabi. Therefore, Lewis gapping Max Verstappen by 10 to 14 seconds by any time in that race, go back and check the tape, was losing. Until they pulled the debacle, until they pulled the scandal. We just finished the race, did we not? Did we not just finish a race in Australia where they had 3 red flags with car incidences? I mean, K-Mag's situation with the wheel loss, pretty much, hey, Latifi comes off, wrecks the car up. They should have thrown a red flag then. If they threw a red flag 3 times in Melbourne Park, why didn't they throw that flag? Why didn't they throw that flag in in Albert Park? Why didn't they throw that flag in Abu Dhabi? I'm just saying, we talking about in this race. So in that race, yes, Lewis Hamilton would have been an 8-time world champion. But I tell you what, since a lot of you like to bring up Spygate, what about Spygate? This is what I'm going to do before I even go over this. I challenge you to bring me any of the 7 championships that Lewis Hamilton has won and show me a debacle, show me a scandal, show me something equal or exceeding what we know as far as Alonso being involved in, as far as Max Verstappen being involved in, or even Schumacher being involved in. Show me something in his 7 championships in those races where he won that tallies up to that. You want to try to say it wasn't wrong, it was wrong. I mean, dude got fired. Massey got fired and he got NDA'd up. They changed the way they tried to regulate the whole stewards in the FIA situation. They admit it was wrong by action. They didn't admit it was wrong in the public and in the eye. And a lot of us say, of course, Lewis being a champion would not want to win it in the courtroom that way. It should have been issued and given to him there and on the track. So Felipe's coming back. He's saying he's going to try to take legal action. Why? Because I made a video talking about this much, but a lot of y'all dismissed it, and now it's in the mainstream, and y'all don't want to come back and say, Wolfpack, you know what? You might have been right. I know I was right. Bernie and them knew about the entire situation, and I said this then. They thought it was better to cover it up to so-called protect the sport than to do what was right would have protected the sport. Doing what was right then and there when they found out that it was a damn scandal, that they immediately ordered Nelson Piquet Jr. to crash his car in order to give Alonso the finish. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, 2007, 2008, Alonso's involved. He's a common denominator right now. I don't see a lot of y'all crapping on Alonso. I see a lot of y'all trying to boost Alonso up like he's some great. Dude only got 2 chips, and that's good. Hey, that's great. You got chips. A lot of there's a slew of drivers who ain't got chips. But if we're really trying to false and go up the demographic about greatness, he's definitely on the lower scale of greatness compared to the other 2. And we can even talk about Schumacher. Hey, big shout out to his family. No bad blood between me and Mick. None of that. I'm just speaking facts. If we talking about comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, I'm just saying if you're trying to throw dirt on one name, there's a lot of dirt you can throw on other names. Alonso was there and involved in Crashgate. He benefited. Now you want to talk about Spygate? He was there for that too, but not so much the situation where Alonso himself was implicated in that, and even not in the Crashgate situation, although I don't know. I mean, they did it for Alonso. But the Spygate situation was a different situation. You had employee Ferrari. They thought documents had been at McLaren, and they did prove the documents had been at McLaren, I believe. But then, even though proven documents, they never proved or found that Ferrari's developments were in the McLaren. So they never put those developments in the car. The car, whatever they may have had, never made it into the car. So what happened? They got fined millions, I believe. Hundreds. I want to say hundreds of millions, but correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about the fine, but I know this, it was way more than the fine that Red Bull got for breaching the cost cap. It was way more than the fine that Red Bull got for doing what they did in conjunction with all the other stuff that's happened. It was way more than that. Not to mention, it cost them constructor championship points, but the drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Alonso, were allowed to go ahead and fight it out for themselves. Because it was an organizational thing, right? So they allowed them to fight it out, but Alonso was there too. But I don't ever hear y'all bringing Alonso's name up when you want to talk about Spygate. You only bring up Lewis Hamilton's name when it comes to Spygate. Why? Alonso was there. Why you don't bring Alonso's name up? Oh, I get it. You walk around like this your whole life, trying to just be blind in one eye and turn one to. Stop playing with me. Listen, I don't say what's safe. I don't say what the popular opinion is. I talk about how I feel about situations that happen in Formula One and or life, and that's where I go from. If you don't like it, too bad. Don't click play. Don't come to the channel and comment. Go somewhere else that's going to facilitate and pamper you. I'm not going to pamper you. Massa say he want to try to see what's up. Felipe say he trying to see what's up with that. I can't blame him. Is it going to change anything? It better not. It better not change anything. If this changes something, then you got a snowball effect, and I better see 2021 Max, that Mickey Mouse trophy you got need to come on up. The real trophy, y'all need to bring it out and give it to Lewis. That's a slippery slope if you overturn that. I'm just saying, hey, we want to talk about other controversies. Why y'all don't ever talk a lot of shit on Schumacher? Why y'all don't ever talk a lot about Schumacher? Schumacher, hey, he great up there as far as stats. He up there. It's tied with him and Lewis Hamilton for the most championships won. But let's not forget, Schumacher crashed in the hill to win the championship and then try to act like he had amnesia. He did that. Let's not forget he tried to get to do it to Villeneuve too. He did that. Let's not forget, against Alonso, man, why does Alonso's name keep coming up? He is a common denominator. But let's not forget, Schumacher is the best car parker of all, the way he parked his car for qualifying. Just saying. But I don't hear you all as boisterous when it comes to that name. When it comes to Schumacher, when it comes to Alonso. I don't hear you all being as boisterous when it comes to Max. So what's the difference? Huh? What's the difference? So y'all always want to talk about that was 2 years ago, 2008. 2008 is right now being talked about freshly, like it's a fresh open cut of filet mignon. All these things still coming up. Let me tell you something. Years from now, more is going to come out about AD 2021. More findings, more statements, and a lot of y'all going to have pie on your face. And I don't mind if it comes out like, oh, yeah, it can't ever come out. I can't have pie on my face. It can't ever come out and say it was right because it was totally wrong. So I'm not worried about it. I'm safe in the home base. But I don't hear you all often talk about this. I don't hear you all often talk about the situation where Lewis Hamilton was costed a title because I believe BMW Sauber and Williams were using illegal fuel. Why don't I hear y'all talk about that? Why don't I hear y'all mention that? Why don't I hear y'all talk about the fact that Lewis Hamilton could have already been an 8-time world champion? Because two teams that were legitimately found to be using illegal temperatured fuel, they found out they were doing it, but the FIA chose not to punish them. So you found out two teams were using illegal cooled fuel. They were wrong. It's illegal. It's illegal, right? That means it's not legal. That means it's wrong. But then they chose not to punish them. So they chose not to penalize them. Had they done what was right then, where Lewis finished would have gave him the points and he would have been champion then. So really he would have been fighting for his 9th championship when he got cheated in 2021. I don't hear y'all talking about that. Why? Since you such a damn historian. Since your memory is so great, Spygate. And that's what I usually just hear y'all say, Spygate. But y'all don't say Alonso. It's just Spygate Lewis. Like Lewis was the 1 and the 2 driver. Some of y'all probably don't even really know the entire workings of what happened in Spygate. I can sit up here and say all the documents. I don't know, but I generally know what happened. Some of y'all don't even know. Y'all just say it. But you don't say Alonso thing. Some of y'all say Schumacher. Schumacher's the greatest, not Lewis. I don't see Lewis wrecking people out like that. Now, you want to bring up the situation that happened between him and Rosenberg. You want to bring up that? Oh, okay. Bring it up. Go watch the tape. Bro didn't have the pace. He didn't. He was fighting for his life. Why do you think he's one and done? Why do you think he is one and done? Anybody want to tell me that? You want to tell me why he's one and done? Would you like to tell me why Nico was one and done? Nobody? Nobody want to tell me? He's one and done because he knew he wasn't going to be able to do it. He one and done because he knew he barely got away with that championship. Barely. And you know what? He's smart. If I was ever to go to Vegas and gamble with somebody, I'm going with Nico because he's going to be able to walk away from the table when he get right. That's what's wrong with a lot of people in Vegas, right? They sit there, they gamble, and then they get up and they think, you know what? I could do it again. I could do it again. But the odds are stacked against you. You're not good enough to overcome those odds. And Nico knew this. He walked away. That's why he won and done. He got that chip and he said, woo, I'm out. Drop the mic. I'm gone. I know better than this. I can't stay around at this 21 blackjack table because I'm going to keep getting smacked. I'm out of here. Hamilton, do your thing, bro. Run it up. Y'all are so lame. Y'all are so lame. But I like it, though. I like it because y'all are number one. Y'all like 1C fans. Y'all number 1C fans. My true day ones and ones, they know who they are. The Wolfpack fam, all that, and we know what's up. I'm not worried about being popular. I'm not worried about them being like, oh, we can't trust that guy. He going to say what he feels. Ted often does that anyway. Just sometimes he gets corralled back in, and I can't blame him. He's within the organization. He's within certain, confinements and contractual agreements. I feel him. Sometimes you got to play that game, but every now and then he lets it out. And I tell you what, I'm going to let it out. I don't know what's going to come of this situation. I don't know if Massa gonna get it overturned at this point in time. And they had a stipulation there that said, I believe it's like post the FI ceremonies, nothing could be overturned. But the wrinkle in that situation is, like I said in the video, they knew before the awards ceremony. They knew when it happened. They knew this information. They had this information, and what they chose to do was to proceed and cover it up. Not act like nothing happened, because they knew something happened. They proceeded to cover it up. Bernie, you foul. You've been foul. I'll leave it at that. Plenty of you other people foul. You've been foul. And some of you just ignorant to the fact that things in Formula One, are even ignorant to have good character in yourself and aware of just saying and looking at things like, you know what? That's a point. I can do that. I can look and say, you know what? You got a point. That's a good point. You know what? All right, I can go with that. Well, some of y'all can't do it, but that's why the old saying goes, those that can do. Those that can do. Those that can't talk about those that can. I can, so I do. You can't, so you talk about me, because I do. So, hey, so you might not like it, but, be a better historian. Check more of your facts. Compare things equally with an open eye and look at these situations. Like I said, I challenge you to go back in Lewis' 7 championships and look at Schumacher, look at Alonso, look at Max. We could probably pick some other ones. We'll stick with those main 3 right now because they hot name topics. And show me where in Lewis's championships you find something that egregious. Show me where you find something that as egregious as breaching the cost cap and cheating 7 other teams, because Williams and Aston breached too. So I'll remove them from that. Show me where you see 7 other teams getting cheated like that, breaching the cost cap. Well, 7 other teams, hey, we all knew you went through it by 1.8 something million pounds. Show me where you see Lewis having a reputation of constantly, deliberately wrecking somebody out. You could go with Max with that. Is he complaining about being ran off track? Bro, go look at your footage of you running Lewis off track. That's run off track. Lewis was ahead in the apex back here where we just finished in Australia. He was ahead in the he was more than halfway alongside in the apex. I'll leave that for another topic. Max was complaining about a safety car that wasn't even there. Safety car lights out. He ain't got to be 10 paces, 10 cars off the safety car. Lights is out, Max. You try to find anything. Show me something Lewis was involved in and did to the character of Alonso. Passing money around to try to screw with somebody else's car? Are you serious? Show me something in Lewis's history where he's doing that. Y'all funny. Y'all need to be comedians. Anyway, we'll see what happens with this situation. I don't know. Could be a slippery slope. More than likely, it's going to be a hard no. But I would like to see this thing get tossed up, because if this can of worms does open, oh my goodness. You know what you have to do. I'm going to bang it up on y'all. All right. Peace. Thanks for watching another episode of Wolfpack Performance. Don't forget to check out some of my other content on Formula One and motorsports topics. Like, share, subscribe, and we go live on the weekends. See you soon.